All right, y'all. Time to do my UFC 175 Weidman versus Machida picks. You know, they're really doing a bad job of promoting this one. This is probably going to be one of the biggest shows of the year. Probably the second biggest behind the New Year's show, whatever that is. And I don't know. I almost forgot about this one. I think that's probably an issue that they're having with the UFC, which is even greater, which is oversaturation, especially when you have a lack of true standout stars. And there's really a lot of matchups that really don't add up to a hill of beans. But beyond that, this is a pretty decent looking card. Should have some pretty interesting matchups. I'm hoping we got some submissions going on. Will it be as good as the Hendricks Lawler card or the Jones Teixeira bout we had a couple of weeks ago? Probably not, but it should be entertaining. All right, main event: Chris Weidman defending his belt against Lyoto Machida. I actually think in this fight, Lyoto Machida is probably a graver threat to Chris Weidman than Anderson Silva was. Obviously, Weidman, he's got the strategy to beat Silva because he's a dude that can wrestle, he can neutralize the striking, and he can knock a dude out. And I don't know, Machida in the past, he's actually been pretty good about that. He's had decent wrestling defense. He's a great counter striker, and I think he's probably going to give Weidman some trouble. I think he's going to get some good shots off early in the first. I think he might even win, the first one or two rounds. He's very methodical. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Go back and watch that Quinn Jackson fight, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But ultimately, I don't know. I think this will go 5 rounds, but ultimately I think Chris Weidman wins. I think Machida, he's going to push tempo for the first 2 rounds. But I think Weidman comes alive in rounds 3, 4, and 5, and that's when he finally gets the takedowns, and that's when he starts drubbing him down. Machida hasn't really been taken down a lot, but it's always dangerous getting in the ground game of a jiu-jitsu guy. But clearly Machida is more dangerous striking. That's his bread and butter. And I think once Weidman gets him down, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't think Weidman will finish Machida. I mean, he could. I think he's just going to neutralize him, take him to the ground, just pound him, bloody him up, mess him up, and just beat him morally like that. If he does win, he's going to win by ground and pound. I think Machida, like I said, it depends on his range. He can be a good counter puncher, but ultimately I think Weidman's going to catch him. He's going to tackle him, and not much Machida can do on the ground. So I got Weidman winning by unanimous decision. Ronda Rousey against Alexis Davis. I don't know, not really interested in this one. I don't really see what Davis brings to the table that Rousey really hasn't had before. I got Rousey winning, second round, submission. Not an arm bar, though. He's going to do something different, like a guillotine choke or something. Maybe a heel hook. Wouldn't it be great? Go in there like Rusmar Palahari's. Yeah, I'm not really interested in women's MMA, in case you can tell. Heavyweight matchup. Stefan Struve coming back from being diagnosed with some really deadly sounding stuff. Can't remember what it was, like a heart defect. So, I mean, it's crazy. He's back in. He's a really tall dude. He looks like a corn dog with eyebrows. He's taking on Matt Mitrione, who is a journeyman MMA fighter if there ever was one. He's probably best known for saying some very unkind things about Fallon Fox. Obviously, Struve is favored in this matchup. And even though he's had a lot of time off, I think Mitrione is a guy who's not really versatile at all as a fighter. I mean, he's got good striking. I mean, he's got good leg kicks. He can beat up Kimbo Slice, but I think Struve is definitely not Kimbo Slice. Even though he's had the medical hardships and he's been off for a while, I still got to give this fight to Struve. I think he wins by a second round TKO. Middleweight matchup: Uriah Hall taking on Thiago Santos. Uriah Hall, he's supposed to be a huge breakout star on The Ultimate Fighter, but he's had a lot of losses since being on the show, and I just don't know what really to say. He got who's the last guy he fought? I can't remember. Well, it doesn't matter. Thiago Santos, guy from one of the Brazilian versions of The Ultimate Fighter. Like I said, we got a problem with oversaturation here. I don't know. This looks like it's the kind of fight where it's engineered to be not really all that entertaining. Both guys will go for the knockout punch early in the first, but nobody will get it. So I think this one ends up being a split decision victory for Santos. I know, it's just got a feeling. Our opening match on the fight card, we'll get in. I think this is controversial. Marcus Brimage against Russell Doan. Not really interested in this one. I think the Bama Beast ends up winning a very boring wrestling style match by unanimous decision. Now, for me, the big question here is not this matchup, but why it's on the card and why Uriah Faber versus Bruce Leroy isn't. Okay, I get it. It's not going to be the most competitive matchup, but dude, it's Uriah Faber. I mean, a guy who has at least some sort of market penetration, who has some branding appeal. You got him fighting on Fox Sports 1, while Thiago Santos and Matt Mitrione is fighting on the main card. Man, that is just bad publicity. That's just awful, awful marketing strategy there. But anyway, Uriah Faber, like I said, I understand why it's not on the main card. It's going to be a boring fight. Faber's a way better fighter than Bruce Leroy. Real name Alex Caceres, but nobody cares. I think Faber wins, second round submission. And that sets up something interesting. Do you think now that Mr. Barrera is out of the title contention, well, he's getting the rematch, though, against, oh my God, I forgot his name. The new champion, the bantamweight guy. Well, anyway, I think Faber can beat him. Whoever he is. Doesn't matter. Like I said, God, this company has so many problems right now. When you can't remember the names of the champions, you know you're definitely messing up product-wise. But anyway, I got Faber winning that one. The rest of the show, just going to run down quickly because I don't really care that much. I want to take Robertson over Alcantara. I'm going to take Bruno Santos over Chris Camozzi. George Roop, the Australian guy who a long time ago everybody said, oh, this dude, he's going to be a bantamweight contender. He ain't no bantamweight contender. He's fighting a dude named Rob Font. I think George Roop's going to go Times New Roman, or possibly even Havarti on him and win that bout. And the UFC 5-pass shows, we got Luke Zachrich taking on Guillermo Vasconcelos. I'm going to go with Zachrich in that one because Vasconcelos, his name is so long by the time he actually says it, you know, he's going to probably be winded. And of course, we got Kevin Casey taking on Bubba Bush. I've never heard of Bubba Bush before. I don't know, maybe the Wikipedia page for UFC 75 may have been hacked. But I'm going to go with Kevin Casey because guys named Bubba are never really that good fighter. That's just something you learn over the years. So there you go. That's UFC 175. Probably one of the weaker looking 4th of July shows we've had in a really, really long time, especially for what is usually one of the big marquee matchups of the UFC calendar year. But you never know. Hopefully things get exciting. There'll be some crazy stuff going on, and I'll probably be watching. I got nothing better to do. But there you go. That's UFC 175. My picks. Take them to the bank. It's probably going to happen.